Hi Virgo, welcome to your monthly reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of April, as usual, I have a special tarot offer available at a sales price. And for April, it's called Game On. And this is a reading that resembles a lot of this Aries themed season we are currently on, which for me it's all about the risk taker in us, the fighter in us, what kind of leaps, what kind of initiatives we should be taking, and what kind of impulses as well we should be restraining. So it's a reading that evaluates those steps, those leaps that you are advised to take and those that you are advised not to take as for now, in order to manifest the best possible experiences into your life. And you can have this reading generally based, so an evaluation just in a general form, or you can have this reading focused in love and relationships or career and finances as well. So if you would like to know more details about that or any other of my tarot services, just email me. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So Virgo, I do feel like April brings a lot of focus for some of you Virgos in terms of how you're managing your time, how you're managing your life, basically, and everything in it is like what type of energy you're bringing to situations, what type of passion, what type of love, what type of dedication, what type of commitment. I do feel like some of you Virgos, it's like you want to take your time, to figure out the answers to all of those questions. You want your time. There's your time versus the time that you're being asked to keep up with. And for those Virgos that have been laid back or too passive or too slow in moving, in acting, this April, it can be difficult to find results or even to find a sense of peace within you and in your surroundings, in your relationships, if you're being too held back, because your challenge is the Four of Swords. So, and this is what you're advised against doing. And I'm feeling like some of you is just, this ongoing reflective mode that you have been overextending. Now, it could be that some of you feel like you just don't know yet what to do, and this is why you're not taking proper action, or you feel that you don't have enough energy, or you feel like you don't have enough sense of direction and guidance to, make the things that you should be making. But I do feel like one step at a time, and you will go there. You will find your answers as you move along. You cannot just sit and wait around anymore. There's that feeling of some Virgos, it's time to get up. It's time to walk, it's time to talk, it's time to work, it's time to live. Some of you Virgos have not been living fully. It's like an energy of being, sleepwalking through your own lives. And for those that have been experiencing some fatigue, some tiredness, I feel like some of you Virgos have a lot of excuses. You have a lot of justifications, indeed, to not do certain things. But it's like, in April, it's, it's game time. It's time to put things moving. It's showtime, is what I wanted to say. So either being about your own self or being about certain things in your life that you have been postponing, that, some sort of action or some sort of decision, it will be very hard during April to settle in the old ways that have become, in a way, your hiding place. I do feel like some of you Virgos, April brings some focus into the type of things and outlets and energies and situations that you used to hide, that you used to avoid connection, to avoid showing up to situations to avoid again properly managing or handling or acting upon things that do require you to be present there. I do feel like some of you Virgos that are in relationships, your relationships have become either stagnant, or there's a lack of activity, there's a lack of passion, there's a lack of, even for some of you, interest in the people you are with, or even, with your friends, or with the type of activities that used to bring you some sense of satisfaction. I just feel like there's an overall sense of tiredness associated with the same old things in your life. And this might be happening because you need to address the situation, you need to reform, reinvent, change things around. You need to, it's like, I feel like some of you have a lot of power to make those changes and to apply some passion, to apply some beauty, to apply some meaning, some purpose, and have progress from there in all of those things that I've just described. But it's like at the same time, you don't want to do, some Virgos don't want to put in the effort, or you feel like, what's the point? If something is working, it's not, providing you perhaps the full contentment, but it's working. Why trouble the balance, or upset the balance, or upset something that is happening? I feel like some of you don't want to create disturbances, you don't want to create problems, and for some of you this is why you're trying to remain again laid back. You're trying to be passive about situations where there's a little bit of that passive aggressive tone as well for some of you Virgos. So it's like you're trying to remain passive when perhaps in those situations you should, not to say that you should be aggressive, but you should be taking a stand or affirming yourselves in order to actually have real balance, real, I feel like fairness in situations. Either you're doing too much or you're not doing your part. I do feel like some of you with this temperance energy, though, being your advice and the type of energy you should move along with, you'll actually, it's not as hard to get you there where you are meant to go during this month of April. If you're able again to do your part, if you're able to show up in your own patient form, showing moderation, showing wisdom, showing love, showing kindness, but still doing what you're to do to bring you happiness and to bring you again fulfillment into your life. I feel like April can be very fulfilling as you're able to push yourself to do new things or to work on the things you have going on in your life that either you have been, not giving a lot of yourself to, not taking care. I feel like some of you Virgos, it's just about you have not been taking care of something that requires your presence, that require your skill, that require your talent. This can be a month of beautiful recovery for some of you as well. For some of you Virgos that have not been feeling well, I feel like health-wise, your well-being overall shows a great deal of improvement, and that's why you're advised to, within your own, of course, respecting your own limitations, but to push yourself to be active, to be or more proactive in some recovery or some condition that you're actually to see improvements by small steps or by taking some measures on your own. I also feel like this recovery could be talking about peace, being some sort of peace or reconciliation being a part of the month when it comes to your relationship. So that's why I said that Virgos that are in relationships, it's not that your relationships are not worth being worked through. They are not worth another chance. It's not that your relationships are dead. They have been in the sleep state or coma state, and now it's like in April, gradually there's this idea of, for current relationships, finding some compromise, finding that energy of meet me halfway, so we can figure out what I should be doing, what you should be doing to bring this beautiful connection to be intertwined and working beautifully. This could even be artistic, or some sort of artistic connection or creative partnership, because this is about alchemy. It's two very different compounds being brought together and creating a very rare, beautiful gem, something quite unique, quite precious. So for Virgos in creative partnerships, or where you are in a relationship that infuses a lot of that feeling of complement, like a complementary vibe, I feel like this is what this is what you should be focused into, is in creating magic with someone, or creating magic within the different elements that you have going on in your reality. There's more to be done basically than what you have been seeing, what you have been believing. There's much more to be done, even if things seem to be a little bit low-key in your life, Virgo. The idea here is that it's like, I feel like Virgos, you're awakening here from a long period of, again, of a sleep state, or lack of activity, lack of big changes. There's this idea of a phase for you Virgos that have been very like very flat line, let's put it that way. Not a lot going on, not a lot of heights and peaks of experience, or intensity, or excitement. And now it's like you're gradually coming back to an energy of liveliness, and it's like it's going to take your time, because some of you Virgos have grown a little bit too comfortable in this state of non-activities, like a feeling of it's better to have this than to have a lot of drama, or to have a lot of going on. It's like some of you prefer, or I actually believe that you prefer this way, to not have a lot going on, because you can control it better that way, or it doesn't bother you so much that way. But I feel like you're going to be teased or provoked out of your hiding spots, either because there will be situations, and I feel like for some of Virgos has to deal with relationships, or situations with your daily life. Like you will be forced in one way or another, pushed to move beyond that comfortable zone, because clarity, truth, understanding of your reality, like a reality check, right? You'll be faced with an aspect of your reality where you will be seeing, that action is needed. You can't just be hiding all the time. You cannot just be silent all the time. You cannot just be in your own, doing your own thing all the time. Life is waiting for you. And I feel like some of you, there will be things brought to the surface that might be a little bit uncomfortable for some of you Virgos to deal with, like truths that might put in question, or where you might feel like there are things that are being revealed or shown. You might feel like that those are like attacks to you, or like criticism, or like just feeling uncomfortable with perhaps the way you're being put in the line, because I do feel like again, some of you will have to step up to something. You'll have to do something that you don't want to do because of I feel like it's because of the affirmation, the need to affirm yourself, to take a stand. And some of you don't like that energy of taking control. Or making firm decisions is not just something you are very inclined to do. But once you've done it, actually, as you go into May, things will be much better. Because if you don't take control of your life, who will? If you don't make your own decisions, who will? Who will make the decisions for you, Virgo? And I'm feeling like some of you, as you go into May, there's this very fulfilling period that might be then a part of your experiences. But it depends on what type of things you're willing to do in April to change the setting, of situations. It's like if you apply in here the effort, if you are proactive in April, if you take care of what you need to take care, if you organize what you need to organize, if you make peace with what you need to make peace with, then I feel like there's a very, very, very prosperous energy that will be a part of the later part of April and into May, which is wish fulfillment, the ability to savor life or to savor an emotional experience that makes you so happy, finding contentment, finding happiness. It's a very creative time for some of you Virgos. Like you might have a lot of beautiful ideas and visions of things you want to do or say or write or paint or whatever, or discuss. There's this idea of discussions for some of you Virgos that might be again creative discussions or business wise. It's like you're very interested in the imagery of your work, in the presentation, and making it as beautiful as unique as you can. There's also a lot of focus for some of you Virgos in applying in your work or in your daily duties and things you do in your activities, a lot of your individual it's like putting a lot of your individual branding things with your individuality seems to be something quite important. It's like the only thing stopping you is you. It feels here in April. There's so much you can do, but this is going to depend on how comfortable you are with this Aries energy, because I'm feeling like an Aries energy represents your 8th house. So it's something very intense for you to be dealing with the Aries energy on its own, because it calls for a lot of transformation. It calls for a lot of willpower, a lot of courage to overcome your own fears, because the 8th house represents our deepest, darkest fears, our traumas, our crises, ups and downs in life. But in the other way, it represents our ability to take risks, our passion, our fuel, our soul connection with things. And it's like you can be choosing one side or the other, because the 8th house is also about the hiding places, the secrets, the things we keep from others and from the world. It's like where we hide. It's the underworld. It's also about relationship energy, intimacy, sex. And I'm feeling like some of you Virgos, but more as you go into May, there might be something here with your relationships that will take some positive turns if you allow it to. I feel like there's a lot of romantic or opportunities to find some sense of adventures associated with romantic connections. So again, either you and your current partner will find ways to spice things up and change what has not been providing a lot of happiness for both of you, or some Virgos will be kind of hooking up with someone that gives that thrill. I do feel like some of you Virgos are looking for thrill in relationships. You want to feel, you know, more than anything, that passion. But some of you, it's like you want that feeling, but still, it's like you're looking to it by far. You're looking to the flames, and you're like at a safe distance. Should I go there, or shouldn't I go there? Because you can get burned. You're afraid. It could also be that for some of you Virgos, you're afraid to get burned with the situation. During April, it's like you're afraid of the consequences of something. Like, should I or shouldn't I take that risk? And I feel like this is a question for a lot of different things. Should I take this risk of doing this business, or starting this project, or doing something to change my appearance, or you know, anything that represents a risk, or that you're seeing as just something very different, unfamiliar, again, territory. You will be questioning a lot if you should or shouldn't take certain risks, with the Nine of Cups as your leap. What you should, indeed, the type of giant step you should be taking. And the Nine of Cups is seen as the yes answer, so I feel like this is giving you confirmation that there are indeed some things that it's more than time to you know, to go for it. So there are certain risks that would be seen as worth your while, Virgo. So I hope you have a great month. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.